Hi guys, welcome to our first call in the month of June. It's June 4th, and it's our weekly Tuesday growth call. Um, Katie is at her daughter's softball game, and she'll be out next week for vacation too. So you're stuck with our mugs for the next 2 weeks. Hello. Um, and the goal for today is to kind of piggyback off of what we've been talking about. I feel like we laid kind of this kind of long but necessary foundation of struggles, importance, like the thought behind team building and growing that residual income, which is a really can be a very important part of our business and really got us to, at least Ashley and I to where we are today. It's had its ups and downs. That's just life. No matter what job you have, it's going to. And we just feel like it's really important to make sure that we really just talk about this openly and make sure you guys know that you're not alone and to strategize to see what is going to be the best way moving forward. And as we're navigating a new world of, I feel like every month, direct sales is changing and adjusting. So we have to do the same, and we have to make sure that we're always ready to be moldable and bend and figure this out as we're going along. And so we wanted to focus today on just the leadership aspect and not just like the importance of it. We've already laid that foundation, but also now we're talking about like, well, what the heck do we do? And like, what does that even mean? And what are we responsible for? Like, and how can we lead people in the best possible way, in the way that they need, um, while still making sure that we respect our own life and our boundaries and making sure that we are keeping our personal business important
Business.
and central as well. So we're going to kind of talk you through in the beginning, in the beginning of this call about the what the onboarding process looks like. We walked you through the resource last week and what that kind of one page um one page document that Norwex put together to help you onboard someone. But it's more than just that, right? Like we can't just like toss a link to them and be like, have fun. I mean, you could, but that's not what our goal is here as leaders. We want to be able to kind of walk the process with them and making sure that we are also not feeling like we have to do it for them. So, um, we're going to talk first about the new recruit, okay? And then we're going to talk a little bit more about how you're going to break your team down, but we're going to focus more about the new recruit right now because onboarding I think is a confusing thing, and if I'm frankly honest with you, I don't think that I've ever done it perfectly. Like there have been seasons where I feel like I'm on my game and like everybody is like sinking and it's going well, and there are seasons where I bring people on and I'm like, I'm doing this really really well and nobody qualifies. And I'm like, and I don't understand, right? And I don't understand why it's happening necessarily, but it's just the reality of this business. So we have to be willing to be flexible, but there is like a core of things that we should be doing. And we hopefully can, the way that we can onboard someone can be a really systematic way that seems doable and not crazy, not make you guys feel like you're working 24/7, right? But it can be something where you can hold your boundaries, but still help your and make your person feel like they're being assisted through the process. Okay. So we want to walk you through kind of like a 4-week plan of what your onboarding could look like when you're bringing on someone new. And I would say, even if someone, unless they literally say to you, I don't want to do anything, like I will do nothing, please don't ask me to have a party. I'll never, ever in 1 million years have a party. Unless they say those words to you, I want you to respect them. But if they're like, well, I don't know, like I'm not really quite sure. If that person isn't quite sure, they don't know if they want to make money or not, I want you to hopefully treat them the same way as you're going to treat the consultant that is wanting to make a little bit of income. Tell them, hey, I know that you're not sure what you want to do right now, but will you just give me 4 30-minute calls over the next month to see if we can maybe earn you a little bit of extra money and at least get you a kit for free, right? So, and they can, and if they say no to that, I'll say, awesome, great. I'm going to put you in a different category then, and we're not going to do calls. But if they say, okay, yeah, let's give that a try, you can at least just connect with them on a weekly basis for 30 minutes. I want you to try to put everybody into this beginning category that we're going to talk about. So last week we talked about when you onboard them, you're going to walk them through that resource website, and that is going to be like your very first call. Okay, you're going to tell them all the steps they're going to take. But really, the point of this first call that you're going to have with them after they've signed up as a consultant, and if these have to be two separate calls, like if they're going to sign up and then you're going to do your walkthrough, try to do the walkthrough ideally within 48 hours of them signing on. Okay, because we're on a time clock from the moment they sign on, and we really want them to try to get that 415 days, right? So if you can't do the walkthrough and talk about launch party dates at the moment of sign on, try to do it in the first 48 hours of them signing on. So that means you are setting that expectation and letting them know that part of my onboarding process is that we're going to get on the phone 4 times or on Zoom 4 times. I'm going to walk you through how to be successful and make $350 in your first month of doing this business. And our first call is going to be 48 hours of you signing on, and then have some times available for them. Like, are you available, Tuesday at 7 or 7:30, or Wednesday? You can set those times. Just set that expectation so they know that they're going to get on the phone with you. That very first call, you're going to walk them through the website, show them the training site, ask them what kind of party they want to do for their launch party, whether it's going to be online or in person or text, right? And then show them where those resources are so they can see that Norwex is everything there for them. And then you're going to make sure by the end of that call that they have set their launch party date. It's so important, guys, that you make them get their little calendars out and you set that date, because if you let them have the time, they'll wait, and it'll be 4 or 5 days later before they actually do it. So make sure that you let them know the goal of this call is for us to sit down and look at your calendar and get a date on the calendar that feels good to you, that you actually can commit to, so that after this call you'll know what to do and what steps you'll need to take to start preparing for that first party. So setting that launch party date, and then basically kind of walking them through very at a high level what the invite host coaching looks like, but making sure that they know that all of that is there on the resource for them. If you guys don't know where that stuff is, Ashley, will you pull up that link on the resource and show
Yeah.
them the
The
walkthrough?
training?
Yeah, where the training is for all the different party styles. It's the training website, but it's good if you don't know how to use that or you haven't looked at it. Make sure that you refresh yourself with it prior to doing this. Okay, so launch party date, point them to resources. That's the whole point of that first call. The second call is going to be coming back like a week later. At that time, they'll probably be close to their first party. So the whole point is then to calm their nerves and ask them how the reach outs are going. Celebrate them, calling and messaging and inviting people to their event. Really just hype them up and get them excited for their party. Answer any questions that they might have. And again, point them to the resources. If they haven't done anything, it's really important that we don't shame them, right? It might be a good opportunity for you to ask them why, okay? And then maybe try to figure out what's going on. Most of the time, if they haven't done anything, it's because they are scared and they don't know what to do, so they freeze. They don't want to bug you. I've had people say, I didn't really want to bug you. I know you're busy. Like, reassure them that they can contact you, that you're in their like first pool of people to talk and you're important to them. So if they haven't done that, identify what those fears are and really try to help them see that they're going to do just fine, and it's totally normal to be scared. Maybe tell a funny story about how you totally bombed it on, your first couple parties and how you were still successful, so really try to identify and normalize those feelings of fear and hopefully get them to move towards action. Okay, if you feel really like you don't know how to do that, okay, please feel free to talk to us and we can kind of help you, give you some talking points and some ways to help people kind of move towards action. This is a little bit on the coaching side of things. And oftentimes you just need to like listen and really validate their fears and tell them that it's normal and then give them some ideas on how to move forward. Okay. It's not hard, but people get scared and they need to be reassured that everything's going to be okay. So that's the second call, making sure to really encourage them and celebrate their wins. And Ashley's going to talk about what weeks calls 3 and 4 are going to be about.
So the third call, oftentimes that in the first couple weeks leading up to the party, after the party, you're just kind of there as a support system and a cheerleader. We all kind of do things differently. So like their party, they're actually in my party as well. So like that just everything's a little bit different. Like for me personally, I don't sign them up until a couple days before their party. Like that's all like whatever you decide on for that. But a third call would be, checking in, seeing how the party felt, how the party was, if you weren't a part of it. Chat through like wins, things that they learned, follow-up tips, booking tips to get those additional bookings, just all those different things related to their launch party. And then also just kind of what to look forward. So call 3 and 4 is just kind of like, okay, this is where we're at, kind of assess. Maybe you hit your fresh or your $1,000 goal. Maybe you didn't, like reassess, like pivot, learn how to move forward or whatever. And then looking forward as far as setting party goals, looking at their calendars, making plans to move forward, encouraging them to get on the Tuesday calls, reiterating, where the various resources as far as the team page, Planet Green Team, the training website, which, oh, it's disabled, Brooke.
All right. Okay. It's no, it's the one I'll find it. Sorry.
Well, no, I can't share my screen.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. I thought you meant the website was
Sorry.
disabled.
No,
That's
I did get that. I
okay.
did
Try
reset my
again.
house.
Yeah.
Okay, so the training website, guys, is just such incredible information. Training.norwex.com. I'm sure you guys all know where that is. I totally had to. I feel like the password situation changed from with the
And there is
new.
a link directly from your like main page on your back office too. There's a
Oh,
link
okay, good to know.
right there.
So new consultants, obviously, this is a great place for them. This parties section is fantastic. Templates and tools. Pick your style. Just pretty much anything and everything that they can need relating to parties. I don't know why that.
I know
I don't
it's
know.
weird. Keep going down. There's a link.
Why am I not seeing it? Is it because
Go to
this isn't the
party
right?
events and tools. It's like a Google site now. So, but they put everything there. They spent all this money on this. Keep going. Click
I
that.
can't go. Click
Click.
there.
Yep, go down. And you see that link right
Right there.
there? Yep.
Oh, that's dumb. Okay, there we go. Different kinds of parties, whatever else. So this is new. This used to not be like this.
Yeah.
Obviously it's been a while since I've logged in, but lots of really good information. Like I just think of what kind of information is in this. My goodness gracious. Product education. Oh my gosh. Does anyone else remember like diving deep into, we had the product education sheets that were like the Bible. Um,
I got a stack of
yes,
papers. Like I got a binder that had
this
product.
thick.
Yes.
And we
Yep.
took it to parties.
Mm-hmm.
Information here. So that's a great just kind of getting them kind of hooked in that. Like I can, guys, we all know what it's like when we started. We couldn't get enough information. And like that is a spot that like isn't overwhelming as if like you were to be like, go ahead and join Safe Haven Graphics group. Go ahead and join Joy's group, Megan's group, Amy and Kiwi's group. Like, how about you just give them that link?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think a lot of it's on the resource now too. So like that training site's still there, but the links are right there in the one place. So like
Okay.
it does. I would as much as you can, especially in the first month, Like some leaders don't even add their people to Facebook groups until they've like been in for a few weeks because it can be very overwhelming. So depending on what they're doing, like that might be a good plan just to make sure that they have like a one-stop shop of resources. They have that page, those pages, and they have home office and they have you.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's pretty much
I
it.
think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So after that, we got the third and fourth calls. You've set a plan in place. The people in your business who want to work, feel free to continue to give them your time. Even after those first 4 weeks, work out some sort of connection plan. For me, it's always, hey, the best way to get a hold of me is definitely via text. Um, don't hesitate to set boundaries. I'm very big into the boundaries. So like a lot of times, like I may not reply on the weekend. If you and let them know if you call or text me and I don't answer right away, like I will get back to you. There's no microfiber emergencies. There's plenty of resources to help you with the answer. Oh, by the way, here's home office's number. That's a great way to like call them, get anything and everything that you want from them. Just essentially like don't ignore them. At this point, especially, I feel like people, there's different ways that you're going from there. There's some people that it's, they've made it perfectly clear that they just wanted to qualify and then they'll place their orders every 3 months. There's other people that unfortunately decided parties wasn't for them. There's some people that are like can't get enough of the parties. They want all the money. Like those are your people, which actually kind of turns our attention to something that I will never forget sitting outside a nail salon talking to this Brooke Ayub chick. She was my upline's upline, and I needed support from more than just my upline who wasn't really doing a whole lot. Love her. But she told me that I was an A. And anyone that knows me knows how exciting that would make me feel to be like, oh, I'm an A. Like, tell me more. Um, so she told me about the hierarchy of needs when it comes to teammates and why she was willing to give me more of her time. I think it paid off well for her to give me time in more than one way. But
Yes.
Brooke,
Lots of
tell me about
ways.
categorizing your peeps.
Right. So this is the reason that this is important. First of all, it's important for you to hold on to those boundaries. It alleviates a lot of stress. It alleviates unmet expectations. Because we can have this feeling that, oh, everybody wants to do this certain thing when really they don't. And then if we think that they do, or we want to believe that they do, even though they've kind of told us that they don't, it leaves this like kind of pocket of resentment that can sit like, oh, I work so hard for these people and they blah, 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 blah. It can, so that circular thinking can get really bad. In this business, especially if you do give a lot of your time, if you give a lot of your heart and your soul to your team. We've all done it as leaders, when you think someone's going to pan out and they just don't, and you get really sad about the time that you spent. But from the get-go, when you listen to people and you like believe them and you put them into these categories, it's going to really help you just lead the best way that you could. Okay. So I also want to say that there are times that somebody might not know that they are a different category than they think that they are. So Ashley's the prime
Mm.
example of that. So, in those early days when I was only over like everybody was in my personal group pretty much at that time. And I was looking really detailed at people's numbers. And when Ashley was doing, a couple few $1,000s a month, she didn't know that that wasn't normal, right? At that time, most consultants were only doing 1,500 or less a month. That was like, and those of us that were doing 2, 3, 4,000, we were considered the big dogs at that time. That was how much times have changed, just to let everybody know. I remember the very first time I hit 6,000 in sales and I thought I had died and gone to heaven. Um, but but back then, if someone was doing more than 2,000, more than 2,500, it really, really stood out. And so I emailed her and I was like, hey, do you know that what you're doing is not normal? And she's like, no, I just like money. Like, that's pretty much how she responded. And I was like, well, do you want to make more? Because like, and so she had no clue. She had no clue that there was potential for growth and that she could fall into that higher level category. So sometimes you got to let people know that they are doing something abnormal. And that's a kind of a key thing for me. I always scan my personal group, and if I see someone who's consistently doing more than 1,000, more than $1,500, I send them a message and I was like, do you know that what you're doing is awesome? And kind of let them know. Because often I was that person too. I had no clue. I had no clue that 3,000 a month was abnormal or that was considered high sales. I just didn't know. So as we talk about these categories and how to put them into places, don't neglect looking at your team numbers and really assessing to see if somebody stands out and making sure that they know that they are. Okay. So there are three categories, A, B, and C. That's kind of how we're going to divvy up people. A's being the people that you're going to give the majority of your time, really the vast majority of your time. I would say 80% of your leadership time goes to the A category. So who are the A's? Ash, you can fill this in too. New consultants who want to work, right? Those would be my A category. Anybody in their qualification period who are trying to hit goals, or maybe they're in their first like 90 days, those are going to be people that I'm consistently trying to connect with, especially if they said that they want to make money. Okay. Another category, your A category, is going to be anybody who's a leader. Okay. So that'd be people who you're connecting with. They have a team of people that they're growing. Maybe you're going to connect with these guys in a different way. It's not necessarily that you're like checking up on them, like what's your party calendar like. I mean, it might be like that, especially if you see that their sales are struggling. It's going to be more support, like, hey, how are things going? What do you need help with? Is there an issue that you're having with the team member? Those kinds of things. That's going to be who you're going to give a lot of your time to. And then the people, guys, who are really consistent in they're consistently selling, they're consistently maybe growing a team. They're not maybe quite at that like 2,000 plus level, but they're there, they're on the calls. So like all of you guys would be considered those type of people in our category. People who are engaged, they're involved. They might not be doing a whole lot, but they are there and they want to be there. Those are people that I'm going to give a little bit more of my time. Does that make sense? Um, the people who want to be there and want to go and want to be a part of things, guys, I really try to match that energy. Like I'm going to match the energy that they bring to the table. If they don't bring any and they're not doing much of all, they're going to go into the other two categories. So do you want to talk about B's and C's, Ash?
Yeah, and it's again, it's people who want to make money, people who are looking to make income, wanting to grow, those kind of
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And obviously like your interviews would help kind of also after the initial period of time, like know where to put your new recruits to. So B's would be your steady eddies, the people who don't necessarily party, but find ways to stay active, whether it's gathering orders, or maybe it's some autosave orders, or maybe they just are the 3-monthers that every 3 months they're sending you an order
Yes.
or entering their own order or whatever else. Connecting with them on a monthly basis, sending them special sales, good deals. Um, we tried, like for me and my personal group, and I guess my red jacket line, and then Brooke and hers, like we really try to connect with them and let them know what those sales are and just kind of keep them, touch base with them and whatever else. And then the C's are the people who don't do anything. Maybe stay from going dormant, maybe not, who knows. But they're the people that we like to treat as VIP customers, because here's the deal, like I could joke about them may or may not going dormant, but at the end of the day, that's the vast majority of our team, and it's probably
Mhm.
it's the vast majority of our team too.
Of
So
everybody's teams. Yeah. Yeah.
there is a place for them. They are valuable in some ways. And treating them like VIPs, well, they're valuable, you know what I mean. They're like treating them like a customer is so important. Like I like having them in my VIP community because they'll like ask questions about a product, or they'll see me share about the tea towels and then they'll just say, hey, I really want those. Add them to my cart or whatever else. Like there's those people that like they're learning about the products because you're sharing about it and you've invited them into your VIP community. So if you have those people on your team and they're not in your VIP community, like that's a really easy way to reach out to them. If you're consistently educating your VIP community, they're getting the education as well. And then there's sometimes where they're like wanting to join your cleaning club and it's like, hey, Deb,
Yeah,
you
all
have
the
an
time.
account.
Yeah,
And then
all
like
the
you,
time.
you would walk them through like that. So sending them sale information, monthly specials. They're only really interested in ordering, and sometimes we'll barely do that, but that's okay. Keep them posted on when their orders are due to stay active before they go dormant, before they go removed, all those types of things. So they have a place. You know, you're one that if they reach out and needing help to place an order or don't know how to do the website, finding a video on how to order, like that would be really great. Oh, Deb, yes, absolutely. Here's a video to show you how to place your order. Oh, don't forget you get 10% off extra perks this month, whatever. But you're kind of just treating them like glorified customers because
Yeah.
that's exactly what they are.
Yeah. And the goal with these guys is just to keep them from falling off, guys, and remember and reminding them that they get to shop their own discounted storefront.
Yes.
So like, and that's kind of like, the when we phrase these guys, sometimes they don't like the words business, they don't like the words consultant, even they don't like the word party, like they don't want to do any
Commission.
of that stuff. Yeah, and they don't want any of that stuff. So for these people in particular, I'm just reminding them, you don't want to lose out on your special discount storefront. Like I know you love our detergent and I know you don't want to pay full price. So isn't 35% off, sometimes 40% off better, right? So it's just using that language and not being afraid of that, guys. Like the casual consultants make up probably 70% of all of the Norwex consultants out there. I would put money on that. So they hold a place. It's important. If somebody wants to join for the discount, don't ever say they can't, and treat them as good as you treat your VIP customers, and they're going to love that. I often for these customers, and I don't even know if this is kosher, if we're supposed to be doing this, but I will often place their orders for them. And it's so much easier, honestly, for them to send me a list and for me to log in. Now that credit cards are all saved and it's all happy inside their stuff, I get everything. I make sure to do everything via text. So I have the writing of their permission to hit send. So if you're afraid of that, I get permission and I always do it via text. So if anything were to happen and someone will come back to them, I can show them, so and so they gave me written permission to be able to place this order for them. And they really love that. I had this one sweet old lady who she knew how to navigate the old system like a pro, but she can't do it. She can't figure out, and she puts in like $600 orders whenever she orders, and she's like, I've just been thinking about letting it go. I was like, no, 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 nope, 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 I'll do it for you. Like, it's not a problem, just tell me what you want. Like, it's not a problem. So don't be afraid. It takes us how long, guys? 5 minutes to place an order. That's a service that you can provide for your casual consultants who are consistently placing orders. So hopefully that helps and helps you guys figure out, like, as you're onboarding, like where to place people. I know we've talked about a lot of stuff, but the biggest takeaway that I want you guys to really like believe deep in your hearts is that you have the ability to control your time and you don't have to be enslaved to a role of leadership. Okay. I promise you that you can hold boundaries. You cannot work on the weekends if you don't want to. You can hold your evenings quiet. I don't respond usually when it's like a people in my lower categories. I know this sounds really bad, but I don't respond to a text after 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. If they text me late, I text them at 5:30 in the morning on purpose. Because if you send me a text at 10:30 p.m., that is not on my schedule. I'm not awake, but I am awake at 5:30. I am bright and bushy-tailed at 5:30, and I will happily text you back. Most of the time, they'll stop texting me that late because they don't want to text at 5 in the morning. So, like, and I don't really, unless it's an emergency or unless I know that they're having a party, and they tell me, and I'll let them know, hey, I'm available at during your party time on Saturday during the day. So please, if you have questions, feel free to text me during that party time. Like I reassure them and let them know. But for the most time, For the most part, I'm not responding on the weekends. Um, so know that you can have that. And I really, really want you guys to believe that and not feel like you have to be like at everyone's beck and call all the time. It's important for your mental health and your sanity to know you have those boundaries, and it'll allow you to grow a team, and you'll train them the right way. And it's a beautiful thing. So it's
Yeah.
8 o'clock, but does anyone have any questions? No?
Hopefully you guys have started, making your lists for the skincare challenge of people that you
Yes.
want to invite. Um, uh, I would say too, Brooke, we should probably share in the prep group some like simple like things to post on our main pages
Yeah.
to
You and
connect
I,
this week.
Ash and I will connect this week and kind of, we need to put up a game plan for that because we had ideas that I remember when we talked, we had a bunch of ideas. So
Yeah.
we'll start to get you guys going with that.
Yeah. Just some simple ways to like, get the attention to get a very simple way to like have people respond in a social
Yeah.
media post. So we'll put
Yeah.
together a list so it's not all of us posting the same one thing, and get that to you guys. But yeah, that's just where we are at right now is we'll just keep prepping and getting ready for skincare challenge.
Cool.
I'm
Awesome.
excited.
All right, guys. Thank
We'll see you later.
you. Have a good evening. Okay. Bye.